And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes, looking upstream to tackle poverty, conflict.
Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Abrahakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the elect. So this is just going to be another Motb update, and we're moving closer and closer, to the law actually being passed, where they're going to demand or make it mandatory that you get a subdermal device implanted in your body. Now this is news out of the UK. You see, I'm not sure of the individual's name, but he's a politician out there, and they want to make it mandatory that you get a digital ID. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, we've been telling you that the digital ID is going to be linked to the Charagma. Before they push the Charagma, the digital IDs are going to come out. That way, all your information is going to be tied pretty much into one thing. Because once your physical identification, your face, your name, social security number, whatever, is tied to your wallet, they have complete control over you. If there's no digital ID attached to these Charagmas, or really attached to the monetary system that they want to roll out, then they don't have control. Because you can always just go get another one. All right, but once your ID is attached to it, then it's over. You're only getting one. All right, and if you don't do what they tell you to do, then they could cut you off. And you can't go and use somebody else's form of payment because that person has to actually go down and make the purchase. So here it is. They're saying, if you want to work, you got to get this digital ID. And that's Revelation 13:16 should be screaming at you, seeing this. The next step is, if you want to work, you got to have the Charagma. We're going to bring this out real quick. It's Revelation 13:16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And when you look this word causeth up in the Greek, the word there is poeo, which means to authorize. So there will be, just like you see here in this video, there's going to be legislation that's going to come out that's going to make it mandatory for each and every single person down here on the earth to get a subdermal device implanted under their skin. All throughout the world, these different countries, they're going to make it mandatory. All right. Now, some people will look at this, that's the UK. UK, they have been, on some weird stuff lately. That's not going to come over here. It is going to come to America. Wherever you are down here on the earth, you're going to have to confront this. All right. It don't say all in here for no reason. It says he causes all. So he authorizes all. He's going to put legislation that's going to go out throughout the four corners of the earth. All your these countries will pass legislation. Making it mandatory that you get a digital ID. Well, they just did the same thing down in Mexico. You got to get a digital ID, and you have to attach your biometrics to it. By 2026, they want all Mexican citizens to have a digital biometric ID. Out there in Vietnam, they are attaching biometrics to bank accounts. If you don't want to, give your biometrics up, you can't access this bank account. All right. So you see what direction this world is headed in. We've been telling you this through the spirit of power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. It was going to come down to this. This is this damn devil's ultimate goal. All right. total control. Okay. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So everybody down here on the earth, okay, whether you are rich or whether you destitute on the street, okay, whether you are high in this society, okay, you are A-list celebrity, okay, are you a Joe Six-Pack, you got to get the Charagma, okay, free and bond. So individuals that are slaves, okay, they locked up, they in jail, and people that's walking free, you know, on the outside, okay, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, okay, and we went into this word mark a bunch of times, okay. That mark is going into the subdermal device that Esau Edom is going to put inside your body, okay, whether it's in the form of a, you know, a chip the size of a grain of rice, okay, or it's a neural link, okay, whichever one, that's the Charagma, okay, whichever one you get. There's no difference between the two, okay. They hold the same significance in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. Okay, and now you're seeing the monetary thing being tied to it by him telling you that you can't work unless you get the digital ID. Okay, you work and that's how you get your money. All right. So if you don't work, you ain't getting no money. Okay, you ain't gonna be able to pay your bills. All right, and then the next step is going to be the financial institutions are going to require that you have a digital ID to access their services. Okay, they're going to pass legislation to force these, you know, different stores, okay, to also adopt this legislation. But really, they don't have to force these stores anyway because the elites own everything. All right, they own all these companies, these major companies that you people shop at. Okay, the top grocery stores that people go to, the elites own it. All right. All these different stores you go to buy whatever goods you get, the elites own it, man. Okay. There's 3 top financial firms, equity firms that own pretty much everything. Okay. It's Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. Okay. And those 3 groups guaranteed, okay, they don't say who the, you know, who they're managing for, okay, but it's the elites, all right? You know who's on top of the BlackRock, okay? It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, all right? Here's wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, okay, which we've gone into that multiple times as well. Okay, when you look this up in the Greek, it's chi, psi, stigma. The stigma, okay, when you go into that, that's talking about the branding of a slave. That's what the Charagma is all about. Okay, it ain't gonna make your life better. It ain't for security. Okay, whatever, you know, excuse Esau Edom comes up with, all right, to try to, you know, persuade you to take it, it's none of those things. Okay, this is for you to declare your allegiance to this satanic kingdom that this damn devil's trying to set up. All right, and see, this is why it's so imperative that, you know, us as Israelites, okay, you remove yourself spiritually from this society, man. Okay, because this is what direction this world is headed in. Okay, if you got anything in this place that you are invested in and you don't want to lose it, that's going to cause you to fall. All right, I'm gonna bring this out real quick. We can wrap it up. I don't want to make this too long. All right, so we already know what's going on. We are prepared for these things. Okay. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 40. It says, O my people, hear my word and make you ready to thy battle. Okay, the battle that's coming is the hour of temptation. Okay, the time when we're going to be tested. Our faith is going to be tested. All right. And from all sides, you're going to have attacks coming. okay, to try to get you to bow down to this system that Esau Edom is setting up, try to get you to take that Charagma. Okay, I just want to put this out there. You getting a digital ID is not the Charagma, although it is going to lead to it. Okay, it's not the Charagma. All right, so you can get a digital ID if you need one for the time being. Okay, but as soon as this damn devil say, oh, you got to get something injected in you, that's the Charagma. Okay, just want to put that out there. All right, because you might have some individuals that might think him actually instituting a digital ID is the Charagma, and they're gonna abstain from it. All right, it's not the Charagma. The Charagma is when he actually inserts something into you. Okay, so before we get to the Charagma, he's gonna push this digital ID. All right, which is nothing wrong with you getting that. Okay, but as soon as he tries to make it mandatory, or does make it mandatory that you got to get some kind of operation to get a device installed in you that this nigga created, and that's when we fall back. Okay, since that has not happened yet, it says, "Oh my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." And this is the spirit to be in. Okay, have pretty much zero attachments to this place. Okay, yeah, we do what we got to do, to maintain ourselves in this society, but we ain't got nothing vested here. Okay, we're not worried about losing anything here because this ain't our kingdom. Okay, we are waiting for what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai promised us. Okay, because if you have any attachments to the things here, okay, such as your job, some people like where they work at. I got a good job, my co-workers are good, I don't want to lose that. Well, okay, I'll take the Charagma to keep my job. The same thing that happened during the pandemic. Okay, with people that were willing to get injected with the juice so they could continue to experience life here in Babylon. All right, and it could just be this system that people are attached to, which a lot of people are attached to this system. They think this world is the pinnacle of life. Okay, the way this damn devil got things set up, you got plumbing, you ain't got to go out into the field to use the bathroom. Okay, you got refrigerators and all that. These people think that this is how life is supposed to be. This is the pinnacle of life. Okay, and they don't want to see that go. Okay, because this is all they know. So anything outside of that, it brings a whole bunch of fear on them. Okay, so they're going to do what they need to do to maintain their standard of living here in Babylon. Okay, us bringing up the kingdom, it don't really compute with these people anyway, because they thinking, okay, it's going to be something that's nothing like America. Something that's nothing like the Western world. I don't want nothing to do with that. Okay, I like my electricity. I like that, I got keys and the house and all that. That's how these people think, It says, "Oh my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." The word pilgrim, when you look it up, it means somebody that's a sojourner. Okay, so these people, this is not actually their land. They're just here for a certain time period, and they're going to move on. Okay, and a pilgrim, when they go into a land, they're not invested in, what's going on in that country. Okay, because they're just passing through. It's none of my business. All right, I'm not participating in the things that you got going on here, because I have somewhere that I need to be eventually. Okay, and that destination for us is the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, it says, "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. Okay, he that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein." So basically, don't get caught up in the things you got going on. All right, this world is temporal anyway. It's going to pass away. Okay, so why are you going to, attach yourself to something that's not going to last? Okay, we should be attaching ourselves to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and the promises that he promised us, the kingdom. Okay, those immortal bodies. All right. It says, "He that soweth as if he should not reap, So also he that planted the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Okay, they that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor, labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And ultimately, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to bring mass devastation down here to the earth and upon Babylon. Okay? And all you individuals that worship the beast and that take his mark. Okay? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to destroy you. All right, so I just want to go into that real quick. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Ruach HaKodesh, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone. Shalom.